35 with a time of 133.157. Right now it's doing the encoding score, which is going to show up in a second. Well, maybe not a second, but a couple seconds. Right now it's at about 12%, so I mean this takes a little bit to run through. The very last portion of it, which is very noisy, it plays a video. Right now you can see all my scores as far as what's going on here. So you got the CPU clocked at speed of 4598.9 megahertz with a multiplier of 46, bus of 100 megahertz, RAM at 933.1, 8 gigahertz or 8 gigabytes at 991024. The Crossblade Ranger motherboard, iOS or operating system is Windows 8. And the GPU is a Radeon R9 270X 4GB dual expansion card. So, with that being said, we're just going to let this run, and as the scores come up, I'll update them. But yeah, I'm hoping that this score comes out higher than my previous scores. I haven't really gone back to look at my previous scores, and I can't exactly do that now since I have this running. Right here you can see my CPU usage is bouncing between 94 and 100%. So this thing's really putting my CPU to work right now. That's why typically after I run this, I let the computer sit idle for about 5-10 minutes, just because it usually gets this thing cranked up pretty hot. And what I'll do is I'll show you the temperature right after the test. Which, I mean, I say it runs pretty hot after the test. It goes up maybe like 10-20 degrees, and that's if that, and even then it maybe hits, maybe at most hits 35 degrees Celsius, and even that's a long shot. So we'll see in a couple of minutes. Like I said, it's going through, it's at about 62%. I should have played some music before I started this, but I wanted everything to go towards the test, so, and nothing else is running right now. I think the only thing I have running right now is the Gaming Evolve thing that's down on the left, but even that's not running anything right now. This takes forever, sorry. This is like the longest portion of it, minus the last part, which is like a video, and then it does the encoding as well. So it does two things at once. So, I mean, that's probably the longest portion of it, is the very end where it's heavy multitasking. Believe it or not, is where the CPU really gets a good workout. The next is going to be the GPU workout, which is going to be the, I think it's a photo that it continually edits down to its finest point. And I wish there was a way that you could actually pull up Fraps and make Fraps work on this, but unfortunately there's not. Because I would love to see what the frames per second are when it does the video editing and editing and stuff like that. But whatever. So we're getting to about 93%, averaging about 16 to 17 frames per second, depending on which encoding task it's doing right now. And we just hit 100%. Alright. Encoding score of 47,145 at time of 254.274. And now we're going to go through, this is the OpenCL test. So right now it's just doing a couple of GPU testing. It's not testing the CPU at all, even though the CPU is still running at about 100% right now. So maybe it is testing the CPU, I have no idea. It's supposed to be running off the GPU completely right now, but we'll see what happens. If you pay attention to the photo there, it's actually going to continue to get cleaner and cleaner looking. which I probably can't even pick up with this camera. I don't know why I'm telling you you're going to be able to see that. But as I sit here, it's actually getting cleaner and cleaner and cleaner looking. This is about 48 seconds remaining. Now again, just to remind you guys, the last portion of this is quite loud, so I'll try to cover it up with my hand as much as possible to kind of dampen it. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn off, or well, turn down the volume. So it is going to be quite a bit loud. I also can't touch the keyboard at the moment, just because if I touch the keyboard, it will stop the test. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to let it run. Alright, so that last score came through at 44,255. KS sample / seconds was 936. Right now the CPU usage is 100%.
0. Probe's gone. 200 is the max.
Look at that, you actually get a frame per second up there. Right now the CPU is getting hammered, so is the GPU. And we're running at about 25 frames per second. And this is running at 1080p. Basically on ultra everything. So it's doing pretty much the roughest, hardest test that it could do with it right now at possible.
108, okay? 109, 108, 109. Yeah.
Max the CPU ratio first. Screw the V curve.
Yeah, V curve. 109, 109.
No. Your ratio. What?
Ratio max. Ratio
It
max.
has not moved from 25 though.
Yeah, just press it. Apply. Yeah, just apply. Just more.
2.9.
More.
Okay. More. Like this?
Yeah.
More. Not much. Not bad.
Yes.
111. That's all. Okay.
Super way, 111.
他们在抄 super， 还在考试。It's only 1.8.
One more. No. Come on.
It's easier for you guys to hold.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry I was being quiet. I was just kind of observing these guys as they were doing their own CPU tests and trying to really press their CPU, running liquid nitrogen and
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's liquid hydrogen as well.
My hands are pretty tired.
This test's at about 50% right now.
Screenshot this one, maybe?
Okay.
Pretty low.
Just run again.
Again? We go.
Totally higher. 1.92.
That actually is supposed to happen in the video.
Then run again. Run again.
Yes.
That's 2 handbrakes, so that was 2 of those that were supposed to happen. Got to do another one.
Zero.
Probe's gone.
200 is the max.
Yeah.
Or it might be the meter.
One higher.
Have you got a different meter? You got food?
Yeah.
I think that's
69. I think it's 69.
Yeah.
Right now.
We're at almost 80% right now.
What are you?
What are you doing? 108, okay? 109? 108, 109. Yeah.
Max the CPU ratio first. Screw the V curve.
Yeah, V curve. 109.
No. Your ratio. What?
Ratio max. Ratio max. Yeah.
Ratio is max.
No, just press it. Apply.
Alright, so we're almost done, you guys. 95%, 96. Just got it down for you, 97, 98, 99,
Okay.
100%. It's going to shut off in a second. It's going to shut down the video, and it's going to give me my score. And that's the highest score, believe it or not, that I've ever gotten on this test. Absolute highest score I've ever gotten on this test. And real quick before the CPU cools off, because this fucking thing will cool off really fast. Move that out of the way. It didn't even go up. It didn't even go up a degree. Oh no, it did. 38 degrees was the max. So it almost went up 10 degrees. Now we're gonna give that a second because that might actually go up a little bit more. Nope, 38 was max, which I think is pretty impressive, and now it's going down. So we're gonna give that a second to cool down before I do anything else, just because yeah, this computer does get hot after that test. Now what I'm gonna do in the meantime is I'm gonna go into my documents. This is the previous test, which I can't open for some reason. Here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna save that file. Where the fuck did it save to? This isn't good. Just trying to find where that's saved to just now. But anyway, that's the highest score I've been able to get. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the ROG website because I can be able to pull it up from there. So go to desktop, and we should go to now you gotta take into account, guys, most of these scores are all posted by people that have Core i7s, FX series CPUs and so on. So the scores that you're, are showing right now as I'm going down the pages are all people that have different high-powered CPUs. I'm actually going to change it up to just the AMDs, and that'll make it a little bit easier to find, because my original scores were in the 39s, I think. Let's see, where's it there? It's not these. That's actually pretty bad. I was able to get higher than them. Alright, where are my two scores? There they are. So my original score, my very first score when I took it with the A10 6700 is right here. It was 36,451. Second score, which was the A10 quad at 4700 or 4.7 gigahertz, ran at 37,138, and this is my current score, which I will be posting to the ROG website, at 4039. So I think I've gotten this down, and I think I got this computer running as good as I'm gonna get it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good one.